Several red states are trying to fight against marriage equality by passing discriminatory laws against gay couples. And one of those laws, or several of those laws actually, are being proposed in Oklahoma. Let me tell you what they are. The first one is known as HB 1598, and it explicitly states that mental health counselors may engage in sexual orientation change efforts with any patient, including those under 18, who are forced into the therapy by their parents. This bill also legalizes the use of aversion therapy. So this is essentially the same type of therapy that's been banned in states like California because A, it doesn't work, and it's also very traumatizing for kids that have to go through it. If you're an adult, you have to sign some sort of agreement indicating that you know that this type of therapy is not proven to work and that it's disastrous for your psychological state. But again, this is just another effort to kind of attack the LGBT community in Oklahoma.
That's weird because I was told that we're past all this. We got this solved. Why are gays still complaining when they have all the rights? They have more rights, I hear, than straights. It's weird, though, that in places like Oklahoma, people are allowed to force you into trying to change your very identity.
Right, exactly. And one thing that people are kind of misled about is that there are anti-discrimination laws that vary state by state. And a lot of the red states do not include the LGBT community in those anti-discrimination laws. So you do not have equality in a lot of these red states if you are gay. The Supreme Court ruled that you can get married, but that's about it. In regard to aversion therapy, it means any counselor or counseling by a mental health provider that exposes or asks a client or patient to undergo physical pain, such as electroshock therapy or electroconvulsive therapy, touch therapy, pornography exposure, or vomit-induction therapy. These are all methods that, by the way, do not work, but it's meant to traumatize this victim who's being forced into taking this type of counseling.
So these fall into two different buckets. One is the bucket where the therapist is also gay, but is pretending not to be gay, and he touches you in different ways so he can get off. And I'm not exaggerating. We've shown the video in past episodes where they'll have the person they're trying to convert from being gay sit on their lap, and they'll rock back and forth with him. They're like, no, it's therapy. It's really therapy. It's fucking gross, okay? So the fact that they take advantage of those, oftentimes kids, right? As they're pretending to turn them straight and sexually assault them in that way, right? It's disgusting.
They prey on them. They prey on these kids.
Exactly. You want to talk about disgusting, though, is the second bucket. Electroshock therapy? Are you kidding me? Right? Vomit-inducing things like, oh, they'll show you gay porn. Conveniently, they're also looking at the gay porn, and then they'll make you vomit. What? I can't. So, okay, here, I'll give you a great example of it. Could you imagine, okay, if a Muslim family in Oklahoma decided, hey, you know what, my daughter or son turned Christian, and that's against my culture, so I'm going to shock them. I'm going to literally do electroshocks on them, zap them, and torture them until they become Muslim again. The scandal we would have.
Yeah.
What would people say about that? They'd be like, oh, the Muslims, we knew it. We knew, look at these barbarians, these savages. Yet Christians here do it to their kids because their kids happen to be gay. And Oklahoma, the state of Oklahoma is like, way to go. We sanction that. Go ahead and torture your own kids to make sure you defeat their own identity and destroy how they view themselves.
How do you as a parent stand to think about your child going through something like this, to torture your own child? I mean, it's ignorance. Honestly, it has everything to do with ignorance. The notion that you could change their sexuality, the notion that these therapies actually work. It's ignorance, right? Coupled with hatred, and it drives me insane. But there's more, okay? This is just one piece of legislation that's been proposed in Oklahoma. There's more. There's House Bill 3044 that would rip away a lifeline. The bill states that no public school counselor, therapist, social worker, administrator, teacher, or other individual can refer a student under the age of 18 to any individual, organization, or entity if the referral pertains to human sexuality. So that's their way of saying, if you are part of the LGBT community and you are seeking guidance from a counselor who is gay friendly, We're not going to allow that to happen.
And here's what that means, so in case you're unclear. They say a student might come in and say, I'm depressed because I'm struggling with identity issues, and I think I'm attracted to guys, and my parents don't approve, and so I'm going on depression. All these different things that are possible. Can I see a therapist who could help me with this? Now, this would make it illegal for the counselors to say, yes, here's a therapist you can see about that. But it is perfectly legal to send them to a therapist who would torture them to try to make sure that they don't stay gay.
Incredible.
I mean, look, this is why they're the American Taliban. This is, they say it about the guys in Oregon. It's true of the legislators in Oklahoma that have signed on to this. They're vanilla ISIS, right? This is a version of ISIS, except you're not torturing foreigners, you're torturing your own kids.
And finally, there's HB 733, forbidding HIV-positive people from getting married. Anyone found to have communicable or infectious diseases will be denied a marriage license. Though neutral on its face, the bill is clearly targeting gays who still have an elevated risk of HIV. By the way, I mean, that piece of legislation doesn't just impact gay people, it impacts everyone.
I guarantee you right now they're going to repeal that.
Yeah, of course.
Because you know who has communicable and infectious diseases? A lot of people in Oklahoma. And they're not all gay. Most of them, overwhelming majority of them, will be straight. And if they actually pass it, enforce it, and then they say, oh, sorry, you got an STD, that's it, you can't get married, people in Oklahoma are going to be pissed.
I mean, do you know how many people, like the vast majority of people in America have herpes? Vast majority of people in America have HPV.
Yeah, when you combine those two, it's
over.
It's not a little majority, it's an overwhelming majority.
Yes.
So you would ban the majority of your citizens in Oklahoma from getting married.
It's just
okay, how's that for irony? The people who say they're pro-marriage, right? So they're going to repeal that once they realize it doesn't just, and then, they're going to be like, oh, we meant to discriminate against gay people and torture them. Oh, we didn't mean to discriminate against straight people. And all the things that we say, oh, the sex before marriage. Yeah, straight people can do that. That's fine. No. We meant to hate gay people. Yeah. What happened? I thought you were basing this on the Bible. And the Bible says neither one of them should have sex before marriage and hence shouldn't have an STD. Okay, let's see. Let's see if they wind up being consistent on this. But my guess is once they find out, oops, we just banned 87% of the people in Oklahoma from getting married, they're like, oh, gosh, damn it. We're going to have to change that.